Good morning, dear friends. I send you my greetings from Milan. It is a pleasure to be with you on this day of the fast. The quality we're going to reflect on today is steadfastness. Steadfastness is the ability to remain firm, constant, and committed, especially when facing difficulty, uncertainty, or delay. Baha'u'llah states that after recognizing him, the first duty is steadfastness in his cause. It is described as the king of all acts, surpassing other meritorious deeds. It is not a passive waiting, but an active, daily dedication to the covenant, even when trials are severe. Steadfastness is defined by Baha'u'llah as a twofold responsibility, as a love so firm that neither the claimer of the enemy nor the claims of the idle pretender can deter one, and as a strict, unwavering commitment to following to the divine ordinances, which distinguishes truth from falsehood. In the history of the faith, we have many examples of steadfastness. The supreme one is Badi, who maintained a mysterious and unbroken silence despite torture, embodying steadfastness until death. Then we can think of Mirza Haider Ali, known for his unwavering joy and calmness even while imprisoned, famously declaring that below the waves is perfect calmness. Bahir Khanum, the greatest holy leaf, who has summed up all human virtues in the word steadfastness. To develop steadfastness, we move from understanding it as an idea to practicing it as a way of life. The Baha'i teachings offer several clear pathways through prayer and fasting. Abdul Baha explains that prayer and fasting bring about awakening and mindfulness and serve as protection during tests. These practices refine our inner life, strengthen spiritual perception, and help us remain centered when circumstances shake us. Through active service, service anchors the heart. When we dedicate ourselves to contributing to our community and humanity, our faith becomes lived and embodied. Action transforms belief into commitment and gives steadfastness a practical foundation. Through obedience to Baha'i laws, Baha'u'llah revealed laws not as restrictions, but as structures for spiritual growth. Obedience provides rhythm, discipline, and clarity, a framework that supports firmness when emotions or external pressures fluctuate. By viewing challenges as opportunities, tests are not signs of abandonment, but invitations to deepen reliance on God. When we interpret difficulties as means of strengthening faith rather than reasons to withdraw, steadfastness naturally grows. By striving for detachment from all save God, recognizing the temporary nature of worldly trials allows us to anchor ourselves in what is eternal. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means loving and serving in the world without being spiritually shaken by it. Steadfastness, then, is cultivated both inwardly through prayer, fasting, and detachment, and outwardly through obedience and service. It is the harmony of inner conviction and outer action. As Baha'u'llah says, today is the day for steadfastness and constancy. Blessed are they that stand firm and immovable as the rock and brave the storm and stress of this tempestuous hour. They verily shall be the recipients of God's grace. They verily shall receive his divine assistance and shall be truly victorious. They shall shine amidst mankind with a radiance which the dwellers of the pavilion of glory laud and magnify. Now I leave you with the story of Arthur Dodge. Enjoy.
Arthur Pillsbury Dodge lived with a mind like a steel blade, sharp, restless, disciplined, and a heart that responded instinctively to truth. Born in the mid-19th century, he grew up in a world being remade by industry, invention, and new religious movements. By early adulthood, he was already known as a brilliant legal thinker, entirely self-taught, a man whose intellect opened doors wherever he went. One of those doors belonged to Mary Baker Eddy, founder of Christian Science. She offered Arthur a prestigious position as her attorney. It was a gift that would have made him wealthy and influential. Yet Arthur declined, unsettled by a feeling he could not quite decipher, even within himself. His mind was inventive as well as intellectual. He moved to Chicago and entered into a partnership with George Pullman, the railway titan. Pullman set him to work on stored heat motive power, an engineering challenge completely outside Arthur's training. He should have failed. Instead, he taught himself what he needed to know, redesigned the system, adapted it to a streetcar, and stunned the press. In 1892, Chicago newspapers reported the successful test of Dodge's railroad motor. In 1893, the financial panic and the Pullman strike shattered everything he had built. His dream of founding a major magazine collapsed. His projects evaporated. Yet Arthur did not bend. He launched 3 new companies, refusing to let failure define him. His resilience was astonishing. It became one of the hidden engines of his later spiritual service. In 1895, the death of his young daughter Anna struck him deeply. During that period of grief, however, a decisive encounter took place. For the first time, he heard about the Baha'i faith. Those words, received at first with caution, rekindled in him a hope he believed to have been lost. After a careful study of the teachings, in 1897, he recognized in the Baha'i revelation the fulfillment of his long spiritual quest and devoted himself with enthusiasm to sharing it with others. Soon after, he moved to New York, where he, his wife Elizabeth, and 2 of their sons embraced the faith together. It was a family rebirth. Their home became one of the earliest Baha'i centers on the East Coast, a place where seekers found warmth, intelligence, and heartfelt hospitality. In 1900, Arthur, his wife Elizabeth, and their 2 sons undertook the pilgrimage to Akka. Their meeting with Abdu'l-Baha was a profoundly transformative experience, one that definitively shaped their spiritual lives. On their return trip, they met Edward Granville Brown, the Cambridge scholar who had famously met Baha'u'llah. Brown translated the tablets that Arthur had brought from the master, and Arthur saw to their publication in New York. In doing so, he became one of the earliest Baha'i publishers, helping the words of Abdu'l-Baha reach seekers across America. In 1901, Dodge published the first introductory book on the Baha'i faith written by a Western Baha'i, The Truth of It, The Inseparable Oneness of Common Sense, Science, Religion. But the early community soon entered crisis. New York was torn apart. After months of division and confusion, the believers reorganized in December 1900, forming a board of council. Arthur became one of its elected members, offering firmness, clarity, and healing when the community was at its most fragile. His leadership helped stabilize the East Coast during one of its darkest moments. In 1912, a dream he had carried since pilgrimage came true. Abdu'l-Baha visited America. When the master came to New York, he stayed for a time in the Dodge family home. Arthur arranged meetings, secured venues, accompanied him to churches, and introduced him to dignitaries. His 2 eldest sons, William and Wendell, assisted closely in this work, with Wendell bringing the skills of a trained journalist. To have the master rest beneath his roof was one of the greatest honors of Arthur's life. Even after the master's departure, Arthur continued to serve. In 1914, he moved with his family to Freeport, Long Island. He was older now, worn from decades of work and service, but his devotion did not waver. His home became a haven for seekers and traveling Baha'is. When Arthur passed in 1915, Shoghi Effendi named him among the 19 disciples of Abdu'l-Baha. Arthur left behind not only a family but an entire generation of believers, strengthened by his courage, his clarity, his leadership, and his unwavering loyalty to Abdu'l-Baha. His life remains a radiant flame in the early days of the cause.
I hope this story has moved you as much as it moved me. I now leave you with a musical piece. Thank you for listening and happy fast to everyone.
O thou beloved of my heart and soul, I have no refuge save thee. I raise no voice at dawn save in thy commemoration and praise. O thou beloved of my heart and soul, I have no refuge save thee. I raise no voice at dawn save in thy commemoration and praise. Thy love encompasseth me, and thy grace is perfect. My hope is in thee. O God, give me a new life at every instant, and bestow upon me the breaths of the Holy Spirit at every moment. O God, give me a new life at every instant, and bestow upon me the breaths of the Holy Spirit at every moment, in order that I may remain steadfast in thy love, attain unto great felicity, in order that I may remain steadfast in thy love, attain unto great felicity, that I may perceive the light, perceive the manifest light, and be in the state of utmost tranquility. Oh, perceive the light, perceive the manifest light, and be in the state of utmost tranquility and submissiveness. Verily thou art the giver, the forgiver, the compassionate. Verily thou art the giver, the forgiver, the compassionate. Verily thou art the giver, the forgiver, the compassionate.